Police from Omaha Fire after a 3-alarm fire ignited at the abandoned Legacy Crossing apartments.
The assistant fire chief tells us more than $1 million in damage has been reported, and 2 firefighters were injured in the blaze while fighting it earlier today. The fire was first spotted at 1:30. The flames spread to 3 floors, leading crews to call in more help.
OFD says a firewall helped keep the blaze contained to the north side of the former apartment complex, but the roof did collapse. The apartments have sat empty since late last year. The city had ordered them to be shut down because of safety concerns.
The cause of the fire is unknown at this time. Investigators are asking anyone with information to call the arson hotline. That number is 402-444-FIRE.
And